Hey guys, Lost here, and I'm doing a top 5 mods of the month for Hearts of Iron 4. Because of the success of my last top 5 for Hearts of Iron, which you can go check out with the link in the description, I'm going to make another one and hopefully keep making mod reviews for Hearts of Iron. Today we have a little bit of everything, a lot of different mods, some better than others, but of course that is just the nature of a top 5, so I hope you guys enjoy. Before we get into this mod, don't worry about what the United States is doing. Just relax. We'll get to that one in a second. So have you ever been getting late in the game, things are going well, then all of a sudden you look and see, wow, how did all of these enemy units get smack dab in the middle of my territory, only to zoom in and see that they're actually your units, but for some reason the flags are flickering or they're appearing as other nations. Well, I can tell you, for me at least, that happens quite frequently. This mod gets rid of that. Flickering Flags fix will fix that annoying eyesore when your units are just flip-flopping between a dozen different nations, or, it looks like enemies are in your territory. It's not a huge deal overall, it doesn't affect the gameplay, but like I said, it does kind of clean things up so you know what's going on, and for me, I really enjoyed it. Up next, we have something a little more interesting than just a simple bug fix, and I'm sure if you can tell, there's already something different with the game. This one is called Hearts of Augmentation, which mainly changes up the focus trees of Britain and France. It also adds in some new events, which makes things a little more interesting, kind of more realistic than the just standard paths that you can usually follow. Changing from a democratic society to a fascist or a communist society carries a little more weight and, like I said, changes more things with each ideological shift rather than just kind of pressing a button and changing a few colors. So what you are looking at here is the standard focus tree for Great Britain, completely free of all mods. It's basic, like I said. You can reinforce here, you can reinforce there, you can claim this, claim that, and you got your military or appeasement paths, so that's fairly basic. So this is with Hearts of Augmentation on, and as I'm sure you can tell, it's already looking a little different. As we scroll farther to the right, things change up more and more. The more aggressive path has far more things you can claim and try to take in the name of the British Empire, and especially way over here on the right, you can bring back the monarchy or abolish it, take the path of communism like you normally could, but with a few more options, like I said, to give things so much more flavor in the game. The goal of this mod, when it is finished, because it is not quite finished, is to basically augment the entire world. Next, they will go to Germany and then China to fix it up and augment it to change the way history is written, but right now it is mainly focused on Great Britain. So for this next one, I have to ask you guys a question. Have you ever played as Sweden or one of the other Scandinavian nations? Because I can tell you, I sure have not. And that's probably because I don't want to play as a tiny country that doesn't matter that much. But anyway, maybe this mod will make you want to play it from now on. This mod is called Swedish Tiger. This mod is a complete overhaul for Sweden. You will get a brand new focus tree as well as your own tech trees in the tank, air, and mechanized section. You will get custom events as well as brand new producers, advisors, and you will also get the King of Sweden himself. So I feel like at this point I should probably apologize to all you Swedes out there. I have a friend of a friend, he lives in Sweden. Great guy. I'm sure you guys have a lot of great stuff. You've got like waterfalls and scenery and other things going for you. But anyway, this is your handsome king now. I know he's a king, but it's also a democratic government. Either way, what a dashing fella, am I right? However, taking a look at the focus tree, we can see there are a couple of different things that will bring the tiger out of Sweden and make it rise as a great empire during World War II. You can take a look at those if you download the mod. Links will be in the description. So there are a lot of great things in Hearts of Iron, war, nuclear bombs, Italy, but what can be better than Italy? I bet I know what you were thinking. The Roman Empire! That's right, guys, let's make Italy great again, and when I say great again, I mean let's go all the way back to the Roman Empire. With Septimius Pinnus II, Italy turns into the Roman Empire. You control Italy as well as some surrounding areas and some northern parts of Africa and Ethiopia. You might be a little confused on how the Roman Empire can reform in a more modern time, but the story is Septimius Pinnus has claimed to be the rightful heir and descendant of a former Roman ruler, and so now he has reformed the Roman Empire with his own following and making things a little different for the world in World War II. The tech trees remain fairly unchanged, however the focus tree is changed a little bit, allowing you to make claims on France without having to go to war. In an attempt to help reform Rome in its glory, you can try and unify Europe the way the Romans couldn't quite do it, even expanding your influence to the Americas if you think you're strong enough. Go to war with Nazi Germany and try to take some of their lands. Now, myself personally finds ancient Roman times very interesting, and I like learning about it, so that makes this mod so much more intriguing for me. I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, I know we're going fairly quick, but we are down at number 1, and if you were curious about what the heck was going on with the United States back at the beginning of the game, now you can finally see what I was talking about. This mod is the 50 United States and the 13 provinces of Canada. The mod takes place where the game is normally set. In 1936, the United States is still working itself out of the Great Depression. However, for some reason, the strain that the Depression has put on the economy, all of the states decide to just split. For whatever good that does, instead of like splitting the country in 2 or something, it decides to split into 50. Anyway, each state can have its own ideology, democratic, fascist, or communist. Each one will get its own flag and change its own name as well. For example, the New York Empire or the South Dakotan Socialist Republic, things like that. Every state is its own sovereign nation with its own diplomatic and political entities. It also has its own military with all of the manpower access from that state and all of the resources. And as I'm sure you can tell, the resources thing is definitely a problem when you're playing as a small state. You think it's hard to pick some random Middle Eastern country and try to rule the world there? Well, now you are surrounded by 50 tiny countries. Some of them, like Wyoming, have like 2 people and a bunch of rocks. Overall, I find the idea extremely intriguing. It is also quite a challenge if you're looking for something new to try. In my opinion, there are a couple of different ways you can play this mod. First off, you can take control of a highly populated eastern or west coast state. That way you have a large population and some resources to deal with, because otherwise you are just not going to go very far. Or 2, you can play as whatever state you want and have a friend play as perhaps a European country and have them send you resources and fund you. That way you can kind of take over the United States for yourself. So we are getting to the end here, and this video should be titled the top 5 Hearts of Iron 4 mods for February. I know it is March 1st, but curse February because it's got like 3 less days or whatever. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more content like this. I will see you guys later.